What's the value of a memory? This is one of the many existential questions posed by Remember Me, an action-adventure game that explores the evolution of social networks in a speculative future. You play as Nilin, an elite memory hunter who's had her memory wiped for reasons unknown. As you travel around Neo-Paris to piece together her past, you'll take in wonderful sci-fi sights, alter the memories of certain characters, and beat the hell out of plenty of bad guys. Just don't get your hopes up too much. Remember Me has some awesome concepts, but its execution is rough around the edges. You'll love the futuristic setting of Neo-Paris. Remember Me's depiction of a could-be future is fascinating. Thanks to sense and technology, people see the world through augmented lenses, and they can even share memories with one another. The game asks some interesting questions about the morality and implications of such technology, and the sci-fi Neo-Paris setting is wonderfully realized. You'll be eager to soak in all the sights and sounds, from the towering residential district of the wealthy to the dangerous slums of the poor. Each area is packed with detail and begs to be explored.
Don't stop, Nilin! Stop!
You'll hate the extremely linear design. Considering Neo-Paris is so intriguing, it's disappointing that it feels empty and never affords you the opportunity to investigate it. Its narrow streets and corridors are often devoid of life. You'll rarely see an NPC aside from the ones you'll have to fight, which makes for an isolating experience. What's worse, most levels are shockingly linear and seldom offer any deviation from the main path. You'll spend the entire game walking through cramped hallways and climbing up ledges before fighting a group of bad guys. Though a handful of decent set-piece moments punctuate this cycle, it'll leave you feeling claustrophobic more than any game in recent memory. You'll love customizing combos and using special abilities. Special enhancements called Pressons imbue Nilin's attack combos with additional properties. Low on health? Socket a punch with a regen Presson and you'll replenish some of your hit points. Likewise, Power Pressons deal extra damage, while others reduce the cooldown of Nilin's special abilities, such as an area of effect stun. Building combos to suit your needs adds an enjoyable layer of depth to your otherwise bland combat system. Remember Me's battles are at their best when you're chaining your special abilities with normal punches and kicks, and relying on Pressons to keep the momentum going. You'll hate the stiff feel of combat. Unfortunately, Pressons are just the icing on a stale cake. Remember Me lacks the balletic flow of great action games like the Batman Arkham series. The controls feel a bit stiff, and at times unresponsive. It's difficult to target the enemy you want to, and some require the use of special attacks to defeat. This wouldn't be a problem if not for the fact that every special has a lengthy cooldown. In most cases, you can use Pressons to reset this after landing several strikes. Sometimes, though, you'll face enemies that damage you when attacked with combos, meaning you'll have to circle them for a while waiting for a cooldown to reset. As a result, combat sometimes drags on, and it lacks the polish and execution you'd expect from an action-heavy title. You'll love remixing memories. Remember Me's greatest standout feature is the memory remix. These cinematic puzzles task you with rewinding and fast-forwarding through the memories of key characters during interactive cutscenes, and altering their details to produce a specific outcome. Completing one comes down to trial and error. Components of a memory have to be manipulated in a certain order for you to succeed. While failure means starting anew, it's never frustrating, as you'll get to see the interesting outcomes unique to the sequence of variables you modified. Memory remixes are not terribly challenging, but they're a refreshing new take on puzzles. You'll just wish there were more of them to go around. You'll hate overuse of jargon and cheesy phrases. Part of building a world from scratch is determining how its inhabitants act and speak. Most people are willing to accept a bit of made-up jargon, but Remember Me bombards you with foreign terminology so frequently that it becomes distracting, as do the words remember and memory, both of which you'll hear way too many times during a single playthrough.
If you're prone to intermittent memorial access, you should activate your odd compass before going out.
Remember you soon.
Together, these minor blemishes make Remember Me script sound far too cheesy and heavy-handed with its memory motif.
I remember I was sort of afraid, but then he smiled and we hit the switch together, and then felt everything.
Remember Me dishes out some innovation just when you thought you'd seen it all. Its customizable combos and interactive cutscenes are unique standouts that help smooth out some of its rougher edges. Still, it's a prime example of a game whose concepts transcend its execution. Its world is too linear, its combat too mechanical, and its story bloated with few too many titular words to be a truly memorable experience. Its premise is interesting enough to keep you playing from start to finish, but even Remember Me's greatest strengths can't remix its weaknesses away. Remember Me gets 3.5 out of 5 stars.
Nothing to see here, folks.
Good.